fired from my worship director position at a church a couple of months ago, and in that time, I've had quite a bit of time to think about how I'm feeling about everything, to think about how everything went down. One, I realized that, yeah, I should have been fired, and I know that. I know I was writing articles openly about my disbelief in God and about how much I hated modern Christianity and how the church was just a business and it was just a sales call pitching Jesus at the end of every service. And yeah, I can see how that would offend some people who are heavy devout Christians, but I stand by that. And, I think about how I was fired. I think about how I was pulled into a room by the pastor and two deacons, how they told me there was something wrong with me, how they told me I needed help, how they kicked me out, how they didn't give me any severance, even though that was my only job and they knew that. And it's just like, wow, you guys are kind of assholes. And I think that kind of sums up church for me at this point, is it's just kind of a group of who are in a bubble. And if you're in that bubble and you stick to the rules of that bubble, they will love you unconditionally. However, if you at all deviate or you do anything they don't like, well, you.
So let me get this straight, and I just want to make sure that I summarize this correctly. He's saying there's no hate like Christian love, while at the same time throwing hate and smut and everything negative that you basically can on your employer, and you basically going online because let's look at it from a couple different lenses. Let's look at it from the Christianity lens, because I largely believe that people put more on Christians than they would even hold themselves accountable for. So, but we also gonna look at it from an employer's perspective, right? I see people get fired off of this app all the time. And the reason that I see them get fired is because they break the rules as far as what a representation of where their employer and what their employer stands for, especially when it comes to the social media policy. They break the rules and then they get mad at the employer because they come online and say wild stuff and basically disrespect the employer or is a bad representation of what that employer wants to put out to the world and the product that they're putting out. And then they get fired, and so they go off and they say it's something wrong with the employer, right? First thing you see inside of the comments is a bunch of people saying, oh my God, you need to get an employer lawyer and sue and all of that. And that's what's wrong with this country, is because we want freedom of speech, we want no censorship, but we don't want any consequences that come along with it. You are free to say and do what you want to do, but you're not free from consequences. Let's look at it from another lens. Let's look at it from the church and Christianity itself. So it's okay for you to be a devout atheist, even almost, I'm not even going to say a devil worshiper, but it's basically you throwing the church under the bus, because the first thing that I'm asking is, why are you there in the first place? If you're only there to collect the paycheck, they have no obligation to keep you. You're an at-will employee. They can let you go. They don't owe you severance. You don't get severance for getting fired. You get severance for getting laid off. That's generally what happens, all right? But he's sitting here and saying they should have had more compassion for his situation, but you don't have any compassion for people that worship God. And so you're willing to throw them under the bus. You're willing to be a demon to them, but you want them to have the thing that you don't extend to them towards you, because you're holding them at a higher standard than you actually believe in. Again, the first thing that I'm asking is, why are you there in the first place? And there's nothing wrong. And let me be very, very clear, because people think that just because you're a Christian or just because you believe in God or just because you go to church, that somehow, some way you're not supposed to call out the nonsense. It's not wrong for them to come to you and say, hey, listen, something is deeply wrong with you and you need help or you need to do things differently. There's nothing that he said in that video that led me to believe that they were any less Christian-like, that they any less believed in God, that they any less was doing what they were supposed to do, and that they didn't do the right thing when it came to firing you. When did it become wrong for a person in the church to say, hey, man, I think something is wrong with you and you need to do things differently? If that was me, it would have been a wake-up call. Wait a minute, I'm broke, I'm dusty, I don't have a job anymore, I have no source of income. And so the first thing that he does, because if I'm an employer and he applies to me, and this goes for any employer, right? If you are a person that owns a company, the best way for you to vet somebody, regardless of what they say in the interview, regardless of what their resume looks like, regardless of what they present themselves to be on paper, the best way for you to vet through it is to go and look at their social media and see what they're talking about, right? The first thing that he did was he jumped on social media and he jumped off the board. He deserves to get fired. No sympathy for him. And I'm glad that this happened to him, and maybe he should change his life and start to think differently. And nobody is saying that you have to believe the way that other people believe, but you shouldn't be on a very basic level throwing and talking negatively about the very organization that you work for. It's crazy. The world has gone completely crazy, y'all.
KFC got me fucked up today. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all shit. Clean this shit up. Fuck you talking about? Clean this shit up. Trash this bitch. Everybody got me fucked up. Here you talking about?
Got a bonnet on.
No, nobody want to work on your bitch ass.
Person.
Look at her, calling the police.
And then they wonder why the fatigue is so real. They'll sit here and whine and complain and say, yo, is something wrong with the world and we're being discriminated against and we don't have the same opportunities as everybody else. But they're destroying the place that they're no longer working for, right? They're bringing out their camera phone and recording themselves doing so. They have all of the fixings of a modern liberal, the bull nose ring, the multiple different piercings, the bonnet on while you at work, you know what I'm saying, the thing that's sticking out of the, I wouldn't even put their KFC hat on. And so what makes you think that you're ready for a higher position, making more money, or that you're going to move any differently when you don't even respect the place that you work for? And some people will say, well, it's just KFC or whatever. No, how you do things in one thing is usually how you do things in everything. Who you are in this space is who you are in that space. You don't change who you are just because you go to a different place or just because you go to a different organization. And then you got the nerve to throw the employer on her social media while she's doing some of the most egregious things. Again, I'm telling y'all this as employers, y'all need to go and vet for people's social media. Relationships, employers, anytime that you integrate somebody into your business, into your life, into your social standing, you need to vet more effectively by making sure that you go to their social media and look at all of them. And don't just go to one of them, because sometimes it's different on one side than it is on the other side. Go to all of their social media platforms, check out what they got going on, look at what they're doing, and make a decision accordingly. She deserves to get fired. It's good that she got fired. It's unfortunate that she's in this she's in this situation. So stupid, bro.
Look at her, calling the police.
He can't even defend his own organization. Why she still there? Leave. Evil.
Lucky I don't touch that chicken. Oh, Javon. What's the chicken? I got you.
Ignore how I look. You wanna know some fucked up shit? I just got fucking fired. And he literally told me, he goes, it's not even because you did anything wrong. It's not because you're not a hard worker. It's not because you don't show up. He literally fired me because no one else that works here likes me. Sounds like a fucking them problem because I don't talk to them. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? I already lost child support. Like, I'm not getting any money. I'm already fucking, in 3 weeks, if I don't find a house, my kids and I are gonna be on the fucking street. And he knows this, and he fired me because no one likes me. And I was already depressed. I'm already on suicide watch, guys. And fucking this fucking shit literally fired me because no one else likes me. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
People need to, especially American workers, they need to come back to Jesus, honestly. We are so spoiled. We are so, we've lost the plot so much and so completely that we think that the world owes us something. We don't have to come in and fit in. We don't have to have any cultural norms. We don't have to do anything differently. We expect for other people to take our situation into consideration. They run in a business. They run in an organization. They run in something that they're trying to be profitable at. If you are not a good fit, right, because that is a justifiable reason to get fired, then you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out why your life is so in shambles. Why are you so far gone to where you can't even find an employer to hold on to you before you're about to get evicted with your kids? Where is the father? And maybe the father needs to take care of the kids and take over the kids while you figure out how to get your life together so you can be a better parent, a better employee, and a better person overall. People are walking around feeling entitled and feeling like they can do what they want to do when they want to do it. What is going on here in the U.S.? Why are people Crash dummies. Why are people so going off the reservation? Why do people feel like somebody owes them something? It's weird. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later.